So we're going to start lying down. So use as many bits and bobs as you like. You could use one of your blankets as a little pillow. You could have your bolster behind your knees. That feels particularly nice if you have any sensitivity in your lower back. You can even put your eye pillow on. Smells delicious. Unless you don't like lavender, in which case it will smell awful to you. So take your time. Checking that you're warm enough. And you might even close the eyes or soften the gaze. So kind of inviting a little bit of a sleepy gaze. Excuse me. So quick kind of explanation if you've not practiced yin before. I'm Karine. This is yin yoga. And yin is, I was going to say passive, but that's wrong. It's slow, it's still, it's mainly floor-based. So it's really good if you are looking for practices that will ground you. So really great complement to other types of yoga that are more about muscle building. It's a great complement to swimming, running, weight training. So as opposed to repetition and looking at building muscle and strength, this is more about suppleness, flexibility. And of course, the combination of strength and flexibility is what we would all kind of like to have. That's a healthy body. So rather than moving through shapes, we hold them for a couple of breaths. We're going to hold for minutes at a time. So I've got lots of props available. I do encourage you to use them. I encourage you to kind of give me a little wave at any point if you feel like you might need a bit of help. And some of our positions, you might feel like there's quite a lot of sensation. Some you may feel are a little bit more relaxed. So there is a crossover between yin and restorative yoga in terms of some of the shapes, but yin is not restorative yoga. So restorative yoga would be you here like this, but with loads more props. So there's loads of pillows. It's restoring your body. Yin is bringing sensation to your body. It's helping to move energy around the body, maybe move energy through any blockages that you might have, whether that's physical, whether that's emotional. It's based on Eastern philosophy and traditional Chinese medicine and something called the 5-element theory. And the element that we're in at the moment is the element of earth. And that corresponds to the season that we're in, which is late summer. You don't have to remember all this, there won't be a test. And it also corresponds to different organs or different places and spaces in the body. At this point in time, in late summer, the element of earth, it's the spleen and stomach. So it's very much about digesting. So how we digest things on a physical level, of course, but also how we might digest things emotionally or mentally. So as we arrive, an opportunity for you to digest your day. So in your mind, can you kind of travel back in time to waking up this morning We're not lingering on anything particular, so it's quite a speedy movie in the mind. Go through your day. Maybe there's a couple of points that stand out, but we don't linger on them. And come all the way through to this point of being here right now. And then in a moment, we're going to take 3 deeper cleansing breaths. And with each breath, I'm just going to release from the day that's gone behind us. So part of our practice, part of yoga itself, is being in the present moment, the only place where life exists. So take a nice deep breath in through the nose and then sigh it out of the mouth. 2 more like that. Release from your day. Be here now. Nice. And any time throughout the practice where, stillness often makes the mind really kind of switch on, and that can be a challenge again. Any time where you feel that your mind has started to wander away back into your day or into the future, which you don't even know what is existing in that space, maybe you take a deep breath, just remind yourself to release from that, remind yourself to be here now, savor these moments, what's happening presently. Let's start to bring a little bit of movement into the face. So perhaps unclenching the jaw, unfurrowing the brow. You might even bring the hands to the face and just give your face a little gentle touch or massage. That feels nice around the jawline. Be mindful. And then just starting to roll the head from side to side. So let it drift to one side and through center to the other. Bring it back to center and bring an ever so slight little wiggle to the fingertips. And then that starts to expand and maybe start to roll through the wrists. You might start to lift the fingertips up to the sky. You might take the arms out wider or up and behind you. So this reawakening of your body. And then start to do the same with lower body. Wiggling the toes, maybe stretch out the legs, or you bring the knees in towards the chest. So we're digesting our practice, what's happening, where we feel sensation, where there's space, where there's tightness. And of course, the shapes that we'll work through are shapes that are going to support the stomach and spleen energy lines. And those energy lines are actually pretty big. So for the spleen and stomach, our energy lines, or meridians as they're called, run all through the body. So this is upper and lower body. The stomach lines also go into the face. We're going to start with lower body. So reach to your side and grab hold of your strap. So you should have a coiled up strap just to one side of you. Unravel that strap. Bring the soles of the feet both onto the ground. And then start to bring your right knee in towards you. Take the strap around the arch of the foot. Really bring that right knee right in towards you. So it kind of has a little squeeze into the belly. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to start to extend the sole of the right foot up towards the sky. So just relaxing the head, the shoulders. See if you can bring the elbows down onto the earth so the upper body is relaxed, rather than wrapping the strap around our hands or kind of pulling furiously. That's a bit too young energy, a bit too fiery. We've just got a hold on it. And for the first kind of initial moments, just have a think, how is this going to be in 3 minutes time? So if you've kind of gone like full force straight in, maybe you just take it back slightly. So in yin, we talk about working to your edge. If falling off the edge, like running off the cliff, was 10, we always want to go to maybe 5 or 6. Soften into the face, the shoulders. You might close the eyes or soften the gaze. And of course, you're not a prisoner in any position. So if you feel that you need to release, then you're more than welcome to. It might be that the physical body tells you this is a little bit too much for me, but remember, some sensations can be strong. It might be that your mind is just kind of like, no, I'm gonna let go of this one now. So try not to judge. We're here to be curious and to explore the boundaries of the body. Bless you. Got a minute and a half left here. If you feel as if there is not any stimulation or sensation, one way to add to it is to curl the toes back towards your face. So that will stretch out through the back of the leg. But be mindful. So yin is not about, any yoga really shouldn't be about like pushing, straining. So listen to your body. If your body says, I just need a minute, and then take it. The last 30 seconds here. You're doing really well. Nice deep breath in when it's there. As you breathe out, start to bend the knee, release the strap, slowly bring the foot to the earth. Take a breath. And then slide both of the legs long down onto the mat. So you might or you might not notice that there feels any difference in one side or the other. And this is rebound, what we call rebound in yin. So this is a perfect example of kind of digesting what's just happened, any shifts. Let's bring the soles of the feet back onto the earth. We move to the other side. So anchor down through the feet. Bring that left knee in towards you. You might need to lift the head and shoulders just to wrap the strap around the arch of the foot, but then relax the head and shoulders down. Inhale, bring the knee in, a little compression into the stomach, and then as you exhale, extend the legs. Slide the strap through the hands so that you can release your shoulders and your elbows to the earth. Take your time. This is all about slowing down, taking time, feeling our way through things. And if you find that your mind does wander, you could take a focus or awareness to part of your body. So here you could just take your gaze up towards the big toe. It might be that you're feeling out the spine, the vertebrae on the mat. Of course, the breath is a wonderful anchor. Just watching the inhale, the exhale, feeling the belly rise and fall. Or it may work for you to have a word. So if we were looking to the element of earth, it might be grounded, peaceful, calm, safe. Halfway there. And you are completely in control. You can loosen off, or you can choose to make any kind of movement or change that maybe adds stimulation. So you are always in control of your practice. Last few breaths. Take a nice big inhale when it's there, and as you exhale, slowly bend the knee, place the foot down. Even if you're like, oh gosh, I want to get out of this, see if you can do it nice and slowly. One of the principles of yin is coming out of our position slowly. Just push the strap to the side, you don't need it anymore. A breath with the feet to the earth, and then slide the legs long down the mat. You might let the toes drift out to the sides. Just taking a moment to let that integrate, digest it. And completely up to you. If you want to stay on the earth, then I can give you variations of staying down on the earth, or you might just want to be here and relax. We're going to come into a seated position. So we'll transition just super slowly, almost like we can't be bothered. So rolling over onto right or left side, just as if you'd roll over in bed, just snuggling on the side of the body. And then slowly starting to bring yourself up. Okay. So we're going to come into our butterfly position. So knees come apart, soles of the feet come together. And if we can, we're more in a diamond shape here. So this is more kind of yang position. This is a little bit more yin. Because we're going to be here for a couple of minutes, I would suggest, but you don't never have to listen to me, that you pop some blocks. So it will give you just kind of like a stopping point. And we're going to move this into a forward fold. So that's going to add a little bit more pressure into the groin. To move it into a forward fold, you could absolutely just kind of fold forwards and just have your head being heavy, or sometimes it's quite nice just to take your bolster a bit of an angle, fold forwards, and it just takes the weight. So nice and slowly bring yourself into your version of that. Chin is kind of rolled into the chest, the hands just relax wherever they feel okay to. And again, we're not straining, we're not stressing. Nice deep breath in. Breathe out and soften. And with this being here for a couple of minutes, you might feel just naturally, not by force or pushing, but you just slowly soften and release a tiny little bit closer to the earth. Halfway there already. Some positions, as with any yoga that we practice, will feel more like they're kind of akin to your body, and some will feel less so. And of course, everybody has a different makeup, different skeletal system, totally different anatomy. Working with the stomach and spleen is probably one of my faves because it's the earth element as well. But it's kind of whole body, but there's a lot of juicy stuff going on in lower body. So we're not resisting, we're not fighting against our body. We're just slowly giving it. Last couple of breaths. And again, the way that we move ourselves out of this is quite important. If it feels okay, we'll roll up slowly through the spine. And then eventually we'll bring the head up. Just take a deep breath. Well done. Let's have a little lean back into the hands, so fingertips point away from you. And close the knees here and step the feet out to the edges of the mat, the knees knock in. So where we've just been is quite heavy external rotation, so we'll just counterpose that with internal. If you want to lift into the heart space, squeeze the scapula, the shoulder blades together, and just gently lift the heart. Tuck the chin to the chest. Walking the hands back in towards you. And we're just going to come through that butterfly position so that it's a nice transition into our next spot. So if you just loosely bring your legs back into butterfly, I'm going to take left leg and swing it behind us. Probably better if you see me at this angle. So again, everyone's just going to look different. So it's kind of like a guidance, not, oh, that's how I should look. The front knee is maybe at a right angle. This back leg, we may have hip and knee or knee and heel in line. What we're looking for really is our hips focusing forwards. So adjust your legs to accommodate that. And that might already feel like that's quite strenuous. So this is deer position. I always assume it's maybe something to do with looking like antlers, but I don't know. Maybe I'll research that when I get home. I'll probably forget, but there we go. So we could be here. We could close the eyes, be here. If we wanted to bring upper body into this, so this is working with our lower energy, we want to bring upper body into it. We might choose to start to walk forwards. And again, this is where all of our props kind of come in. I'm going to turn back towards you now, just scooting round. So it might be that we bring our head down and we just walk the hands forward and spread the fingers. There's another option, of course, if anybody wants to give it a whirl, which is to go into our swan position. So we're going to want to bring our heel closer in towards our hips, so we're at less of a right angle. And we take that left leg back. The top of the foot is on the earth. We can absolutely still fold forwards here. This will either feel more or less intense for your hips. So you decide. Where would you prefer to be? Use the bolster, use the blocks. If you feel like anything kind of the side of the foot or something like that feels a bit harsh on the ground, you could even pop your eye pillow or your blanket. So with being here for a couple of minutes, definitely not saying that this might be a comfortable position, but we want to get as comfortable as we can be. If you want some help, then let me know. When you feel that you've got into your space, nice deep breath in and breathe out. Absolutely fine to play around with props. And of course, because we're here for time, the sensation may start to rise. We can absolutely take a little reverse back out of any shape. One of our principles of yin is to be still, but that doesn't mean that we should just sit if we feel that something moves beyond sensation and into pain. If you need it, find that focus point. Perhaps it's the breath, maybe there's a word, maybe there's awareness to part of the body. Halfway there. Last minute here. So if there's any adjustments that you need to make, if you feel like perhaps you've gone a little bit too far to that cliff edge, or you might feel like there's a couple of steps further. Not over the cliff. We don't want to ever go over the cliff. The breath will really help. So it will really help to be an anchor. It will also help if you are feeling like there's quite strong sensation. And we slowly start to bring our weight up. So the hands come to the earth. And nice and slowly, we start to lift. If you're in swan, so you've got your leg behind you, just be mindful you don't walk back too far. Going to drift over to that right side, swing the back leg forwards. Let's just take our legs forward. Again, we'll lean into our hands and just give your legs a little pat on the mat. Any movement that feels nice. Feel good, yeah? And let's go for the other side. So remembering that each side is going to probably feel a little bit different. So we'll sweep that right leg back. Just arrange ourselves, hips turning forwards. And how does it feel to be here? Do we want to take it into our fold from here? Do we want to instead bring the left heel in towards the right hip? Take that back leg back. Or, you know, there's somewhere in between. So we might be in kind of like a little bit of a hybrid between our deer and our swan position. Nice deep breath in and out when you get there. If you need to, you know, play with the props, find out what works in those first kind of 10, 20 seconds, and then that allows for you to just start to settle. And there may be quite a noticeable difference between one side and the other, or not. And of course, so much is dependent on, you know, our day-to-day activities. A lot can be dependent on any physical trauma that we might have experienced. A lot can be dependent on any emotional trauma that we might have experienced. There's a book called The Body Knows the Score. This is all about how our body holds on and holds things in. And yin can be a really nice practice, if practiced safely, to get some release. Halfway there. Last couple of moments here. I'm starting to bring the hands to the earth if they're not already there. Pushing into the earth to lift ourselves up nice and slowly. Let's sweep that back leg forwards. Extend the legs out in the front. We might come back into our position. I'm sure someone told me once this was called like the sunbathing pose. They must have been lying, right? I don't think ancient yogas would have been like, oh yes, that one looks like the sunbathing pose. You might lift the heart. Take a nice deep breath. Chin to chest. We're going to move into upper body a little bit here. So just sweep the legs round and we'll come on to hands and knees. If you've got sensitive knees, many people have, you can either just flip your mat over or grab one of the blankets and just line it. We're going to move the knees back a little bit here. So hands come onto the earth, fingers are spread, and we shuffle the knees back and drop the elbows down. So our bum lifts up nice and high here. There's a compression to the lower spine. You could absolutely stay here. I would maybe say let the head be heavy or pop a block underneath it. Or you might want to start to reach the fingertips forward. The elbows still stay on the earth, but it's like the heart space starts to come down. Yeah, so seat is nice and high, toes stay on the earth. So in amongst this, of course, we're getting into the heart energy lines. They mainly exist in upper body, but also into the stomach and spleen, through that chest, drifting down to the earth. If it starts to feel quite intense, then we could always cross the arms and catch hold of opposite forearms. Just nice, steady breath. And we might start to feel like the chest drifts down towards the earth a little bit more. If it becomes very intense, then bring yourself back into tabletop and I can show you something else we could work with. Come back onto the knees. Halfway there. It's ominous. So our final minute here. And as we start to bring ourselves back into tabletop, we're really mindful about this one. So we've had a long stretch out through the spine, slide in the hands in towards us, press down through the hands, just come back up to tabletop. You might find it nice to do a couple of cat-cow stretches. So as we breathe in, belly drop, heart opens. As you breathe out, spine arches to the sky, chin to chest. And then a little counter pose. There's a couple of options here. So to work with stomach and spleen, we would probably come into child's pose with the knees closed. So seat to heels. For me, I need something for my head. So when we're coming down, we can feel that we're applying that little bit of pressure in our fold. So we could be here with arms down by the side of the body. Bum stays as close to the heels as possible. If that feels a bit like it's a bit suffocating to be there, then take the knees wider. Again, seat to heels, and we might bring the arms out in front of us. So you find the version that best serves you, thinking again about the fact that we're going to be here for a couple of minutes. Do you need any padding for the knees? Anything to rest the head on? Once you feel you're in the right position for you, nice deep breath in and release it. So a nice position to bring us into contact with the earth, literally bowing to the earth. For some people, it feels very restful. For others, not so much. If you do find that you're struggling with it, then again, just let me know. And there's a different way that we can approach every shape in yoga. I'm convinced. You might be able to feel the belly rise and fall on the thighs. The face, the shoulders are soft. Halfway there. Last minute here. Just allowing as best you can everything to soften. So of course in our practice our muscles are still having some involvement, otherwise we'd be jelly-like. But part of yin is kind of putting the muscles and the strength a little bit on a back burner to allow deeper into our body to work. Working through ligaments, tissue, bone. Nice and slowly. Bringing the hands to the earth. Push into the earth and just start to lift yourself up. Take your time. And then we'll just drop to one side and bring the feet round. So you've got a little essential oil. Noted that I don't have one. So some are lavender and some are rosemary. So if you don't like either of those scents, or you have any allergies, then just be aware of that. And of course, everything is optional, but what you might like to do, maybe the person is not good to their feet. I'll rectify that. You might want to just use it as a nice little bit of self-care. So if you pipette some out into the hands, just rub them together and take a nice deep breath. And from here, you are welcome to just massage any of your skin. If you feel that you could do with a little bit of extra grounding energy, you might choose to massage the feet. And there's loads of acupressure points in the feet. One of the starting points of the spleen is at the big toe. And then when you're ready, I'm just going to bring ourselves back down onto the earth. So you might choose to come back to the position that you started your practice in. I would suggest that you have everything close to hand. So once you're down, you can reach anything that you might want for Shavasana. We'll take just a little twist because it's nice to neutralize the spine once we're there. And then it's rest after that. So we'll bring the soles of the feet to the ground. And just shuffle the bum over to the left as you let your knees drop to the right. Bonus that you get to leave smelling delicious. Maybe you close the eyes or you soften the gaze. So we're all the way back down to ground. Let's bring the knees back to center. Press through the feet, shuffle bum to right, send the knees to the left. So our right side is said to be our solar energy side, our active side. So we would say that was yang. Our left side, our lunar energy, yin. So we usually close on the left to close down into the cooling energy channel. Bringing your knees back to center and finding your way into relaxation. So use any props that you wish, cover yourself with a blanket if you feel that you need it. You don't have to be on the back of the body, it could be on the side of the body, kind of snuggled up. If lying down isn't the one for you, then you are welcome to sit. So take your time. If you can't reach something and you want it, then just wave and I can grab anything that you want. There's space, so if your body feels like it wants to spread out a little bit. In yin, we have a resting position called pentacle, which is kind of like a star shape. So we take the arms and legs out a little bit wider. Try not to have the hands above shoulder height. So just because we're bringing our energy down, but out wide is fine. And we're going to finish with part of Yoga Nidra. So Yoga Nidra in itself is a whole practice. I'm going to pluck the body scan part out of the practice of Yoga Nidra to help us relax. So there's nothing that you need to do. You can listen to the sound of my voice and you can bring your awareness to the journey around the body, or you might find that you just drift off into Shavasana. Let's bring our awareness to the sole of the right foot, the tip of each toe, the right ankle, lower leg, the right kneecap and the back of the knee, the right upper leg, glute, hip, groin space, the sole of the left foot, the tip of each toe, the left ankle, lower leg, the left kneecap and back of knee, the left upper leg, left glute, hip, groin space. Both of the legs comfortably heavy, resting on the earth. The palm of the right hand, the thumb tip and the fingertips, the back of the hand, the right wrist, the lower arm, the right elbow, and inner elbow. The right upper arm, shoulder, armpit, down the right side body. Palm of the left hand, the thumb tip and the fingertips, the back of the left hand, the left wrist, lower arm, elbow and inner elbow, the left upper arm, shoulder and armpit. Both of the arms comfortably heavy, just resting on the earth. Bring awareness to the base of your spine. And as you breathe in, energy travels up to the top of the spine, the back of the neck. The back of the head, crown of the head, the forehead. The right eyebrow, the left eyebrow, the right eye, the left eye. The right cheek, the left cheek. The right nostril, the left nostril. Tip of the nose. The right ear, the left ear. The upper lip, lower lip. The chin, the jawline. The throat space. And as you exhale, can you guide your awareness down past the heart space, all the way to the belly and the belly button, where soft and gentle breath unfolds. The rise, the fall, the ebb and the flow. The whole of your body resting exactly where it's meant to be. Absorbing and digesting your practice. Shavasana. Nice deep breath. And just give yourself time to slowly reawaken to the sound of the chime. Perhaps taking another deep breath. As you start to bring a little bit of movement into the body, take your time. Maybe you have a stretch, a little roll around. Maybe there's very minimal movement for you. This is reawakening. And just be mindful of what and who is in your space as you lull yourself over to the right or left. Take a moment and a nice deep breath there. Maybe you keep the eyes closed or have a soft gaze as you push into the earth and bring yourself up. And find a comfortable seat. Sit nice and tall. You might bring the hands and place them on the heart. You might join the palms together. And we close our practice with a single chant of Om. So Om is the universal sound, the universal vibration. You don't have to join in. You could hum. Doesn't matter what you sound like. In a moment, we'll take a breath in. And as we breathe out, we'll inhale. Om. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, bow chin to chest. Thank yourself, body, breath, mind, perhaps spirit or soul, if that's your belief. We bow to each other, sharing our practice and our energy, and of course, I bow to you.